Part 163. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Luke Hixie. Chapter 1621. Chapter 1621 His Little Angel, 1. There is no shortage of young couples showing affection on the university campus, but this is the first time that such a handsome young man is holding a little Lolita. Say father and daughter, right? The man is too young. Speaking of lovers, girls are too naive. To sum it up, they are brother and sister. The brother is holding his sister, and the sister is holding an umbrella. The umbrella cannot cover their faces. Such a picture is really eye-catching. Yet Xingfeng was worried that the little girl would get caught in the rain, so he took her directly to the milk tea shop on campus. Brother Feng, I haven't even visited the campus yet. I'll take you there when the rain outside eases up. Okay. The little girl took out her tablet from her school bag to watch the video. Yet Xingfeng ordered 2 glasses of milk and some small pastries and sat opposite her. This scene made people passing by take a second look. Shuang came down from the dormitory and wanted to go to the cafeteria to pack lunch. When she took a shortcut through the milk tea shop, she was surprised to find this scene. She quickly took a photo with her mobile phone and sent it to the dormitory group. I saw Yui's mail ticket at the milk tea shop. Because it was raining, everyone was squatting in the dormitory without going out, so as soon as Shuang's message was sent out, it was seen by the roommates. The roommates read it in the dormitory, and everyone picked up their mobile phones to read it. Of course, someone noticed the little girl opposite Ye Xingfeng and immediately asked, "Who is that girl?" Zuyu's typing explanation, "She is his sister." "Wow, even my family has seen it. You are so silent and do big things." Zuyu held her breath silently in her heart. It would be better not to meet her parents at all. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that Beijiu doesn't like her. It can even be said that he hates her. She is so worried. Zuyu didn't want to go where Beijiu was present, but when she saw the pictures Shuang posted in the group, she couldn't help it. Yesterday she dared to kiss Ye Xingfeng, but today Ye Xingfeng didn't say anything. Even when he brought Beijiu to school, he didn't say a word to her, as if the two of them had no boyfriend-girlfriend relationship at all. Zuyu thought for a while, then quickly dressed up, changed her clothes and went downstairs. She deliberately hid aside and saw Ye Xingfeng and Beijiu each playing their own thing, one holding a mobile phone and the other holding a tablet. But Ye Xingfeng would raise his eyes to look at Beijiu from time to time, and then look down at his mobile phone. Or hand her a small pastry and remind her to eat it. The rain stopped outside. Have you finished watching this episode? I want to see it again. Not now. Ye Xingfeng heard the sound of the ending of the anime and took the tablet away from Beijiu, quickly put it away and put it into her small school bag. He naturally held Beijiu's hand, and the two left the milk tea shop. Let's go to the campus printing room first. I want to print out the materials one by one. Good. Ye Xingfeng entered the printing room, and Beijiu stood outside waiting. She suddenly heard the cry of a kitten, looked up and saw something moving on the window supports of the building opposite the printing room. That is a residential building, and the cat meowing came from there. A little milk cat is moving on the window, and it will fall down if you are not careful. Beijiu looked left and right, and suddenly had an idea and ran to the printing room to find Ye Xingfeng to get an umbrella. Ye Xingfeng followed her out, and saw Beijiu running quickly to the window and opening the umbrella, with the concave side facing up, trying to catch the little milk cat. The little milk cat stretched out its legs and was eager to try, but seemed a little afraid. Beijiu didn't care whether it understood or not, she just tried to save her with her true intention. Come down, little kitten, I will catch you. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Luke Hixie. Chapter 1622. Chapter 1622 His Little Angel, 2. She also imitated the cry of the milk cat and called meow a few times, but the cat hesitated on it. Ye Qingfeng walked over and hugged the person directly. The position of the umbrella was instantly raised by half. Bai Jiyu felt happy. Cat, come here quickly, meow meow meow. The little milk cat was very clever, as if it felt safe, it jumped onto the umbrella, and Bai Jiyu caught it firmly. While Bai Jiyu was still feeling happy about saving the cat, Ye Qingfeng accurately found the person next to him who secretly took the photo. The man had a camera hanging around his neck, looking at them apologetically and with a little excitement in his eyes, and walked towards them. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take the photo secretly. I am the president of the photography club. I was originally looking for the theme of the next issue of the campus newspaper. I happened to meet you and took the photo. Those who like photography never want to miss natural and beautiful pictures. Ye Qingfeng couldn't help frowning after hearing this. The photographer showed them the photos he had just taken. Bai Jiyu came forward excitedly and was very happy to see the photos. Wow, they are so beautiful. Can you send them to us? Of course the president wished for it. Because he looked at the boy's expression just now and was afraid that he would ask to delete it, but seeing that the little girl seemed to like it very much, he was not worried. The president was more thoughtful and deliberately induced the little girl while she was happily looking at the photo. Little sister, I think this photo is very beautiful. I want to put it on the campus poster wall for the next issue. What do you think? May I? Of course you can, that's great. The two reached an agreement quickly without even asking Ye Qingfeng. This is the first time Ye Qingfeng has been deliberately ignored. But in the end, when the president left, he also asked Ye Qingfeng for his opinion, and Ye Qingfeng nodded in agreement. He thought, as long as the little girl is happy, it will be fine. The owner upstairs took the cat home and thanked the two of them together. The weather gradually became clearer, and their mood seemed to become happier. The next afternoon, Bai Jiyu reluctantly said goodbye to Ye Qingfeng and Yezhiruo at the door of the apartment. Yuan Ran reminded her to get in the car. She walked to the car, turned around and ran back to hug Yezhiruo and Ye Qingfeng. She held each other's hands with her left and right hands and warned, "You must remember to go home often." The innocent words are full of expectations. Yezhiruo can't laugh or cry, Ye Qingfeng is unconditionally obedient. Bai Jiyu finally asked Ye Qingfeng to squat down and touch his left cheek, which was the red spot the night before. He had developed a small pimple in the past 2 days, which did not affect his appearance, but Bai Jiyu was very concerned about it. Brother Feng, remember not to scratch it again, it will become unclean. Good. Everything is as she wishes. Bai Jiyu looked at the two adults who were much taller than herself, and pretended to be adults and said seriously, "You must take good care of yourselves." As soon as these words were spoken, tears started to fall. She is much more sensible than before. When she cries, she will no longer bother asking others to accompany her. She will pretend to be brave and get into the car, waving goodbye to them. Everyone is reluctant to make her sad, but the separation at this moment is inevitable. Ye Qingfeng stood outside the apartment for a long time. Yezhiruo clicked her tongue twice and dragged her brother back. "Brother, look at your devastated look. If you didn't know better, you'd think your daughter-in-law had been abducted." "What nonsense. Just kidding, how are you and your girlfriend doing?" End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1623. Chapter 1623. Let's break up. Just kidding, how are you and your girlfriend doing? Not too good. You are so honest. It was just a brief conversation, and the two brothers and sisters, who had a good understanding of each other, could already roughly guess what the other was thinking. After a brief silence, Yasuhiro asked again, "So why did you agree, brother?" "Maybe it's a brain short circuit." It's rare for him to laugh at himself. There was another moment of silence. After that, it was Yasuhiro who spoke first. "Then what are you going to do?" He said calmly and naturally, "If it's not suitable, just break up. Emotional matters cannot be forced, nor can they be pretended not to come, unless one is willing to fight and the other is willing to suffer." Yet Xingfeng did not break up with Zuyu impulsively, but he would always refuse when Zuyu asked him to have dinner or something. All this is evident. Zuyu held it in for a whole week when she saw the latest photos posted on the campus wall newspaper, which was about caring for small animals. She broke out in silence. Zuyu planned to go to Ye Qingfeng to ask clearly, but just when she had this idea, Ye Qingfeng had already taken the initiative to find her. "I want to talk to you." When they arrived at the agreed place, Ye Qingfeng's conversation went directly to the topic. "Sorry, we may not be suitable." He acted first and spoke first, holding back everything Zuyu had to say. Zuyu thought, this person is really powerful, he can calculate her psychological changes so clearly. If you break up with her directly at the beginning, she will definitely continue to pester because she is unwilling to accept it. Asking for the reason will also lower your status and appear humble. And he used a week of silence to let her see the facts for herself, and then took the initiative to suppress her when she was about to explode, making her feel that even asking her questions with confidence was unnecessary. Zuyu didn't make any noise and stared at Ye Qingfeng in silence for a long time. Suddenly asked, "Ye Qingfeng, do you always put so much effort into communicating with others?" Ye Qingfeng was puzzled for a moment. Zuyu sneered, "No matter whether you like that person or not, as long as you are willing, you can satisfy everyone, but how sincere is this?" The night breeze lowered its eyes and said nothing. "Are you thinking about what you are going to say and do next to calm me down? If so, then there is no need. You don't know what it feels like to really like someone. You can calculate people's hearts, but you can't control other people's hearts." Zuyu tightened her fists. She saw indifference and alienation in Ye Qingfeng's eyes, as well as a hint of confusion. She knew that Ye Qingfeng usually did not treat people with a cold face, but eyes without emotion were actually very easy to see clearly. She was stupid and thought she could be an exception, but everything that happened during this period made her see the distance between herself and Ye Qingfeng very clearly. Until now, he could still comfort her rationally. "Zuyu, you are thinking too much." Zuyu shook her head, retaining her only pride in the relationship and becoming the first to speak. "Let's break up." "Good. Isn't this what you were waiting for?" He agreed without hesitation, just to stab Zuyu's heart. Zuyu laughed at herself, as expected. She said it was over, but she was still unwilling to give in. "I really want to know, besides your family, who else would you give your sincerity to? I really want to know where your heart is." "Okay, happy breakup, men are all big pigs." End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 1624. Chapter 1624. A different life, a small conclusion. When her roommates happily talked about the photos on the campus wall in the dormitory, Zuyu remained silent and did not participate in the topic. The family genes are so strong, they look so good in photos. "Yu, have you seen it? This photo is really beautiful." Unaware of this, Shuang even handed her the phone to look at. Zuyu just glanced at it and felt irritable. Shuang sensitively noticed that she was in a bad mood and asked the reason. "What's wrong with you?" "We broke up." Zuyu's voice was low, and her whole person lost some vitality. "Ah. What's going on?" "Nothing, inappropriate." Zuyu didn't want to explain the details, so Shuang left her side in embarrassment. The door to the dormitory was pushed open. When he came back from outside, he came in with a box and began to mutter, Shuang, I just met your boyfriend outside the dormitory. He asked me to bring up this box of snacks. I just happened to be here again today. Lemon. The roommate's tone was very envious. Shuang was embarrassed to show off her affection like before, so she quietly carried the box to her desk, opened it and gave it to her roommates according to the old rules. What's wrong? Roommates who don't know the situation also feel that the atmosphere in the dormitory is not good. After Zuyu confessed to her roommates, no one dared to mention the name Yechingfeng in front of her. Yezhiruo was the first to know that her brother was in love, and also the first to know that they had broken up. Hearing this, Yezhiruo just sighed a little, lamenting this inexplicable relationship. After all, she didn't think Yechingfeng and Zuyu could go far from the beginning. She knew very well what kind of heart her brother had. Yechingfeng has a high IQ and a good emotional intelligence, but emotional intelligence does not only represent love. At least Yechingfeng hasn't touched the word love at all yet. It can be said that this ending was expected by her. Yezhiruo, the teacher just informed me that the next anatomy class will be in the laboratory. Do you want to go back to the dormitory to get your white coat? Need. Then you can help me carry it. I'm hungry and want to buy something. Okay. Thank you, thank you. Yezhiruo put away the books from the previous class and went back to the dormitory to get clothes in an orderly manner. Look, she finally leads the campus life of an ordinary college student. She is very happy even without falling in love, isn't she? Although, her brother Yechingfeng prefers to stand at a high point and be the decision maker. For example, in addition to being busy with studies, Yechingfeng is also devoted to the affairs of the student union. If nothing else happens, he will be the president of the next student union. At night, the boys' dormitory was also talking about the photos on the campus wall. They all envied Yechingfeng, who was easy to bully. The sister from school was beautiful and elegant, and there was also a little sister here who was cute and lively. Hey, isn't this the person you used to video chat with Yechingfeng every night? We won't be allowed to see the video. You can't control this photo. How lucky you are, she is a beauty with this look. I can wait another 10 years. It doesn't matter how they laughed before, but this last sentence annoyed Yechingfeng. He warned seriously, don't make fun of her. Okay, I consciously keep my voice down. At this moment, there is still a video hanging on his phone. In the video, the little girl is sitting next to Mo Xiangnuen and learning the piano for two. Occasionally, she turned back and gestured at the screen, as if seeking praise. After a while, the little girl ran to the camera, took the phone away, and muttered to him, "Brother Han Chi called Sister Nuanuan again." End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1625. Chapter 1625. 7 years later. 7 years later. 7 years, a number that is neither too big nor too small, has brought everyone's lives into a new realm. Yezhiruo, a medical major, went abroad for further study directly after graduating from university. Now he spends all day in the laboratory, dealing with various drugs and doing research. As a leader of the younger generation, Yechingfeng inherited his father's business, bringing the glorious development of Yes Group into a new era. Mo Xiangnuen was admitted to his favorite music conservatory 6 years ago and stayed at his alma mater to teach while continuing to study. Nangang Yu, who is at the same level, followed the family arrangement and entered the company. He has a soft appearance and a strong heart. As for the little girl who was a little willful but still had a kind heart, she is now tall and graceful, with bright eyes and white teeth, and is charming. Ah, why are there so many test points to memorize? I feel like my head is going to explode. Put your painting thought into endorsement, and maybe it will become a key point. Mommy, I am an art candidate, so my score in the literature subject can be lower. But you have to know that in addition to art, the comprehensive scores in other subjects will also determine which school you are admitted to. I have confidence. In addition to having confidence, you also need to have strength. Didn't you vow to your dad that you would pass the Sci-Fi exam to get the opportunity to work freely after graduation? Right. We have told you before, no matter what you choose, we only hope that you can be happy. I know your thoughts very well. Since you don't want to just be a child living under the wings of your parents, then mommy also hopes that you will be happy. Be strong. The brothers and sisters around you are all excellent. If you want to stand with them, you have to work harder. Yuan Ran has never thought about forcing her children to succeed. Just like when Beiji said she wanted to learn design, they fully supported their children's choice. But now that she has chosen, she cannot be allowed to be lazy. Beiji, who had been fed a bowl of chicken soup for the soul, immediately cheered up, opened his eyes wide, and began to endorse. The college entrance examination is coming soon. She must work hard to pass the entrance examination of China and the United States. On the day of the college entrance examination, not only the students but also their parents were very nervous. Yuan Ran pretended to be normal and sent Beiji to school. At the same time, there were many people who were worried about her, but they didn't dare to contact them directly for fear of backfiring and making her nervous. This mood lasted for 2 whole days. The next afternoon, the last set of exams ended, and all the students in the classroom cheered like birds that finally flew out of their cages to find freedom. Beiji rushed out of the school immediately after the exam and walked some distance away. Sure enough, 2 familiar cars were waiting outside the school. She ran to the car in front first, opened the window, and waved to the people inside. "Daddy, Mommy, I've finished the exam. Baby, get in the car quickly, Daddy will take you to eat your favorite meal." Kitano, who is serious outside, looks like a kind and loving father every time he sees his daughter. Yuan Ran is also happy for her daughter's relief. "Hey, Mommy and Daddy, wait a minute." Beiji chuckled with her parents before running to the car behind. The car window slid down slowly, revealing a handsome profile. He turned his head, a charming smile appeared on his lips. Beiji's heart was beating fast when she first saw him like this. Beiji swallowed quietly, trying to restore her panicked heart like a deer. Hear him say again, "Happy holiday. Meet the Red Luan, your heart will be moved." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1626. Chapter 1626. She is alone. The summer vacation after the college entrance examination is indeed the happiest day in your study career. There is no homework, no need to study, and you can also look forward to the future and look forward to a new life. This is simply a dream life for Beiji Leshu. It's a pity that apart from her classmates, she has almost no friends of the same age around her, so when she is having fun, her other brothers and sisters are concentrating on big things. Several classmates who were good friends in high school proposed a summer vacation trip, and Beiji agreed immediately. She has been to many places since she was a child, but she has never been independent. She used to go with her family, but this time she only went with her friends. Beiji immediately agreed to her classmates and started to report to her parents. Just in case, Beiji prepared a set of excuses to persuade Yuan Ran. What I didn't expect was, "Mommy, I have something to discuss with you." "Okay, let's talk about it." "This summer vacation is quite long. Some of my good classmates in high school suggested organizing a trip for a few days. Do you think it's okay?" "Several people. 3 boys and 4 girls. Where to?" "It's not decided yet, but they said they want to go to the beach." Can. Ah. Beiji was confused by the two short words in Yuan Ran's mouth. She didn't dare to guess the specific meaning of the word can. Yuan Ran smiled slightly and repeated, I said, I agreed. Really? Wow, I love you, mommy. She happily gave her mother a big hug. As a mother, Yuan Ran can understand her daughter's excitement at this moment. She was unable to gain freedom once, but now it is her daughter's turn, and she will give her daughter as much freedom as possible. It's just that you have to talk to your daddy carefully. Yeah, no problem. Mommy, remember to stand by my side when the time comes. Hey. With Yuan Ran's guarantee, Beiji knew that this matter was mostly successful. She specially picked a time when the three members of the family were there and Kitano was in a good mood to talk about this matter. As soon as Kitano heard that she was going to travel, he asked about the time and said that he would arrange a driver, air tickets, and accommodation for her. Beiji shook her head and refused, trying to make it clear to him that she would be allowed to be independent this time. Kitano's first reaction after hearing this was of course that he disagreed. Beiji quietly tugged on Yuan Ran's sleeve. The mother and daughter had already prepared some words to make B relax his vigilance. But in the end, Kitano still didn't nod. Beiji almost got into an argument with him, but fortunately Yuan Ran was calm enough to stop her in time. Your dad's character is soft but not tough. It won't do you any good to argue with him now. Beiji held back her anger and turned around to pretend to be aggrieved in front of Yeching Feng. Brother Feng, do you think I'm such an old man? Can I still get lost? I showed him my travel plan, but he just didn't agree or had to intervene this way. My travel is still under his control. I just want to be independent for once. Why is daddy so old-fashioned? And there are classmates together, one of whom has several personal travel experiences. After listening to Beiji's ramble, Yeching Feng slowly cleared her thoughts. Your dad disagrees because he is worried about you, not because he doesn't trust your ability to be independent. It doesn't matter. I will find a way for you. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1627. Chapter 1627. Who is the person you like in high school? Beiji didn't know what Yeching Feng meant by finding a solution. She only knew that the next morning, Beije awkwardly mentioned traveling. Where are your travel plans? Here, Beiji quickly handed over the small notebook. Beije pretended to flip through the book seriously and threw the book on the table. I can give you a few days to test your independence. Why? Another unexpected promise. Beiji reacted and smiled widely. She ran to her father and said many kind words, which made him dizzy and said everything she wanted. In this way, Beiji began her first trip away from her parents in her life. They chose to fly and booked their return train tickets in advance, saying they wanted to experience life seriously. Their destination is the seaside. The beaches in summer are very beautiful. One problem with choosing a tourist spot with a good reputation is, there are too many people. The sea view rooms were already fully booked, so they could only choose nearby hotels. Beiji just realized that you couldn't live in the beautiful rooms you stayed in every time you traveled by paying money. However, the accommodation is just a place to sleep at night, so it's okay to make do with it. After all, it was the free travel she longed for. She made everything beautiful and went to the beach with her friends the next day to play and take photos. Choose a good place to camp and have a barbecue on the third night. Everyone sat together and talked about high school life. Beiji and I have known each other since we first entered high school. I still remember that she asked me for directions. I didn't expect that we were in the same class. Yes, and the teacher asked us to choose seats based on our grades. Lan and I had similar grades, so we were chosen together. Hey, by the way, didn't Lan say that she would confess to the prince of basketball after the college entrance examination? Why did you give up in the end? The title Prince of Basketball is given to the most handsome boy in the basketball team in school. He is handsome and is the captain of the basketball team. He is the campus male in the hearts of many little girls. The girl named Lan Lan laughed loudly. I wanted to confess my feelings at first, but then I found out that the male idol also secretly picked his nose, and suddenly I didn't like it. Her words made everyone laugh. One person said one sentence, and it was very lively. Wait, listen to me. One of the short-haired boys suddenly waved his hand to silence everyone. Everyone's eyes turned to the short-haired man, and they saw him reaching out and hugging the curly-haired girl next to him, and announced to everyone, "Let me tell you something, Li Qian and I are together." Wow, when did it happen? Bai Jiyu smiled and said tisk twice, and said jokingly, "You guys are good at keeping secrets, but you didn't even notice it?" Lan Lan looked at her with disgust. They have been flirting with each other for a long time, but you didn't notice? Really? Bai Jiyu scratched her head innocently. The boy sitting opposite her glanced at her from time to time, but Bai Jiyu never noticed. The topic of people you like came up for some reason, and they agreed that everyone would tell their true feelings. It will be difficult for everyone to meet each other in the future. I'm afraid this trip is just this one anyway. I've graduated from high school, so let's talk about what's on my mind. Do you have anyone you like in high school? Starting from Lan Lan, she is a tomboy, and the only basketball prince she likes is also disillusioned. Let's talk about the shortcut man and his girlfriend Li Qian. They like each other. This time it was Bai Jiyu's turn, and she hesitated. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1628. Chapter 1628. The person I like is called. Tell me, who do you like? I don't think Jiyu likes any boys. I have never seen her treat any member of the opposite in any special way during these 3 years of high school. Lan Lan, a very nervous girl, giggled. That's not necessarily the case. Bai Jiyu hesitated, not knowing what to say. If she likes her, it's really too deep. From the moment she discovered that she had feelings of love for that person, the seed sprouted in her heart and grew uncontrollably. Unfortunately, it has not bloomed yet. You hesitate. There must be someone there. Please tell me who it is. Well, that person is someone I've known since I was a child. Wow, childhood sweethearts. Wait and wait, the melon eaters are already in their seats. Lan Lan agreed. Come on, let's hear the story. On such a peaceful night, Bai Jiyu began to talk about the memories that had been hidden in her heart for many years. I have known him since I was a child. I heard from adults that I had a very weird temper when I was a child. Apart from restraining myself in front of my parents, I listened to his words the most. He is very good to me. You may not believe that there are really people in this world who love you as much as your parents do. I met. But he was several years older than me. At an age when I didn't know what it meant to like, he had already dated a girlfriend. At that time, I just felt that someone else was going to take him away. Although I don't know how they separated later, but now come to think of it, at least he was willing to fall in love because he liked that girl. She suddenly felt a little relaxed after personally revealing the secret deep in her heart. She never told anyone about this matter because they were all too familiar with it, and she was afraid that if she said the wrong thing, everything would change. To this day, through this delicate atmosphere, she bravely expresses her sincerity. These things today are all secrets. You must not spread the word outside after hearing this. I never thought, Jiyu, you actually have someone you like, and you have liked her for so long. Even Lan Lan, a usually careless woman, could hear her cautious thoughts from this story. The other 3 girls present wanted to encourage her to pursue her bravely. The boy with glasses opposite him, who had never spoken, had lowered his head silently. He is the top student in the class. He has a gentle appearance and usually wears glasses. Because he is very knowledgeable, everyone regarded him as a captain when he proposed to participate in this travel activity. Some people even directly called him by his new nickname, Captain Xie. Tell me about you. The elegant man with glasses is named Xiayun. Xiayun remained silent and just shook his head. The atmosphere was a little awkward, but it was only for a short period of time. Hey, don't embarrass Xiayun, isn't he a famous nerd in our class? His mind is full of knowledge. That's right, let's go to the next one. Let me tell you, I met a senior when I entered campus as a freshman in high school at that time. Interesting stories bring everyone a fun night and memories that will last a lifetime. Beiji will always remember that this is the first time she boldly told others that she likes the man who has pampered her and protected her since she was a child. She likes her very much, but she doesn't dare to tell others that that man's name is Night Breeze. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 1629. Chapter 1629 Rooftop at Night. That night, everyone returned to the hotel and rested in their rooms. But for some people, the physical fatigue is far less than the sobriety of the mind. Beiji suffered from insomnia. This trip was the first time she had been away from her relatives for 3 full days since she was a child, and it was less than half of their 1-week travel plan. She is homesick. I miss my grandma, my parents, and the person I really want to see. She was browsing the space boredly, and saw a short comment that was very touching, so she forwarded it casually. The phrase "I'm coming to find you" is really enviable. Soon, someone gave her a thumbs up for her post, and the first one was Xiayun. It turned out that someone was still asleep like her. After a while, I suddenly heard a knock on the door. She was wondering who it was when several more messages popped up at the top of her phone, all from Xiayun. Have you slept? I'm outside your door. Can you open the door? Beiji opened the door out of curiosity and saw Xiayun standing at the door. Captain Xie, is something okay? I see you're not sleeping. Let me get you something to eat. Xiayun was holding a white plastic bag with fruit in his hand. Beiji smiled and thank you, then I'm welcome. After taking the fruit, the situation became awkward again. As a girl, she can't invite a boy to her sleeping room to sit down and have a cup of tea at night, right? But she saw that Xiayun was standing at the door and had no intention of leaving, so she accepted the fruit from him, and she didn't want you to drive him away. Captain Xie, can't you sleep? Yes. Well, maybe I'm tired from playing in the past 3 days, so it would be better to rest early. Beiji tactfully advised him to go back, believing that with the high IQ of the academic master, he could understand the meaning. But Xiayun came well prepared and had already prepared a speech. I can't sleep even when I go back. I know there is an observation deck outside this hotel. Do you want to go and sit there? Hey, there is also an observation deck. This mention aroused Beiji's interest. She glanced at the time, and it was exactly 11 o'clock in the evening. Okay, let's go and have a look. Beiji was led by Xiayun to the observation deck. Standing on the high-rise platform, she could have an unobstructed view of the beautiful scenery at night. This place is far away from the hustle and bustle of the city, but you can see the bright lights in the city, one after another, exaggerating the bustling city. A cool breeze blows in your face at night. It is the most comfortable wind in summer. Wow, it's great here. As long as you like it. The captain deserves to be the captain, he knows everything. It's nothing. If I had known earlier, I would have called Lan Lan and the others to watch the night view together. Speaking, Beiji picked up her cell phone and planned to send a message to others to ask Xiaoyun watched her movements closely and said, "Everyone is tired from playing. I guess they have already rested, so don't disturb her." Beijiyu thought about it for a while, then gave up the idea and turned on the camera to take pictures. "You seem to like photography. Ah, are you okay? Why do you ask? There were several school activities before, and I saw that you were always taking pictures with a camera." "Haha, that's the one they took to be a strong man. I've seen the finished film and it's pretty good." "Thank you for the compliment. It turns out that top students also blow rainbow farts." "What did you say?" "No, no," she puffed her cheeks and shook her head, averting her eyes guiltily. Lan Lan has recently learned a lot of internet buzzwords, but she said them without paying attention, which made her feel embarrassed. Such small gestures are extremely cute in the eyes of others. Northern GU. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 1630. Chapter 1630. He only treats you as his sister. The person you like is Yeching Feng, right? The secret that had been hidden for so long was revealed to the point, and Beijiyu was stunned on the spot. Xiaoyun said quite firmly, "If you don't refute, then you are acquiescing." At this moment, Beijiyu's heart was in confusion. Such a firm answer, she just didn't want to follow it. "Why do you say that?" Beijiyu stared at him with wide eyes, arrogantly unwilling to let others see through her heart. Beijiyu may not know Xiaoyun well after being her classmate for 3 years, but Xiaoyun has a good grasp of her character. Originally, he thought that Beijiyu treated everyone the same, and that no boy of the same age could fall in her eyes. But just a few hours ago, Beijiyu revealed her thoughts, and that's when he suddenly realized it. Beijiyu doesn't have people she likes, it's just that she hides them too deeply, or it's hard to find them. Combining the things he knew in the past 3 years and Beijiyu's reaction just now further confirmed his conjecture. "Why don't you admit it?" "Ben, it didn't happen in the first place. It was you who was talking nonsense. What do I have to admit?" As she said this, she glanced away guiltily. Xiaoyun broke the casserole and asked, "If you don't admit it, are you afraid that your confession will fail, or that you won't even be able to become friends?" "We were never friends." "Are they brother and sister?" "You keep calling her brother, but you don't regard him as a brother." "Are you afraid that he will really treat you as a sister?" Xiaoyun's repeated questioning annoyed Beijiyu, and her expression gradually became cold. "Xiaoyun, my affairs have nothing to do with you. Don't think that just because you are a top student, you can guess other people's thoughts at will." After saying these unkind words, Beijiyu turned and left the rooftop. She fled back to her room and couldn't calm down for a long time. Sitting quietly on the edge of the bed, Xiaoyun's voice echoed in her mind. Each and every sharp question was pierced into her heart, making her feel a little painful just thinking about it. Picked up the phone and looked through it, hoping to divert attention, but when I opened the sister group chat, there was a high-definition picture, and the person in the picture was Yeching Feng. Beijiyu's mood. There are only a few people in this group of sisters. The eldest is Yezhiruo, the middle ones are Mo Xiongnuan and Nangongyu, and the youngest is her. They formed a private sister group and often talked about some secrets that could not be known to adults, but unexpectedly, they happened to bump into Yezhiruo and send a photo of Yeching Feng. She looked through some more records, and there was more than one photo. Yezhiruo said, "Mommy said that our eldest brother is old and it's time to fall in love. I plan to make arrangements for my brother to attract Mommy's attention." Nangongyu asked her how she planned to arrange it, and Yezhiruo sent several photos and said, "I sent these photos to my single friends. They liked it so much that my brother instantly became a hot commodity. Mo Xiongnuan, brother is always in demand." Yezhiruo sent a few more photos, all of them beautiful girls. She said these were some good-looking girls she had screened and asked them to pick the 2 best-looking ones. Beiji watched them chatting silently without daring to speak. She accidentally clicked an emoticon and sent it. Seeing her bubbling, everyone asked her about her travels. She briefly talked about it, and Yasuhiro took the opportunity to ask, Xiaoyuer also wants to choose one. Which of the girls in the photo do you think is more suitable for my brother? Beiji took a deep breath and said slowly, I think, Beiji's inner OS, I think we are the best match. End of this chapter.